Dear students, greetings of the day. Hope you are doing good. Our topic is early forms of kingdoms, Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. In the previous video, we talked about how Janapadas formed and how Mahajanapadas then after came into existence. As I already told you that these Janas had come from Central Asia. They were basically Aryans and lived here in India in the Indo-Gangetic plains by 600 BCE. The most powerful Mahajanapada was Magda and its capital was Griha, present day's Rajgir, for 7 years. And Vaji was the most powerful republic. There were two types of administrations. One was monarchy and another was republic. This Magadha was the most powerful monarchy and monarchical Mahajanapada, and this Vaji was the most powerful republic. Fine. There were 16 Mahajanapadas before the times of Buddha, and each Mahajanapada was ruled by a king known as Rajan. A monarchical Mahajanapada was ruled by a king, and he was very powerful and had a very large army. To maintain his army, he used to take the tax. There were many sources of revenue. Farmers, craftsmen, and traders used to give taxes to the king. During this period, many towns were emerged. So many towns like Temple Town, trade town, so many towns were emerged during this period of time, and the trade was prospered during this period of time. Both land and through sea routes, trade took place. Agriculture was the main practice in most of the Mahajanpadas, and they were located on fertile lands. Although Indo-Gangetic plains were very fertile and a crop was very prosperous. Rice was the main crop, and surplus means extra food was also grown on account of growth in agriculture. And so, for the instruments and weapons are concerned, iron was widely used in making ploughs and other farming tools. The farmers learned to use of manures and important farming techniques also. People also began transplanting, I mean, uprooting a plant and replanting it, like paddy. We have paddy, we have its saplings, then we transplant it to the other places. Fine. Similarly, that time this paddy took place, and was the main crop. So, for revenue is concerned, farmers used to give 1/6 of their produce to the king, and that revenue, that tax was known as bhaga or share. So, for the trade is concerned, and as I told you that land routes as well as sea routes were used for trade, and during this period, trade gained very importance, and this is the time when barter system that was used in Harappan civilization. You know that this period, when new kingdoms aroused, before this period, India was already civilized. Here, Harappan civilization had already existed. So this time coins were used for the first time as a mode of payment. Before that, barter system used to be here. Barter system is exchange of goods. When there are goods exchanged, there is no payment of coins. And in this period, silver and copper coins were punched, and these coins were known as punch marked coins. These were silver and copper coins, and were punched, marked with symbols of hills and trees. Like you have a coin of 1 rupee, there is the wheat plant in the at the face of the coin. Similarly, that time silver and copper coins used to be there, and these coins used to be punched with symbols of hills and trees. And till this date, these coins are known as punch marked coins. Fine. Yes, coming back to the this trade, merchants and craftspersons involved in some kinds of trade or craft, and those association of merchants and craftspersons is known as guilds or shranis. This is the association union of merchants and craftspersons, and that union is known as guilds or shranis. What the job of these guilds was? These guilds regulated the quality, distribution, and prices of goods produced. As today, you have consumer affairs. What they do, they regulate the distribution, quality, and prices of goods. Fine. Similarly, at that time, guilds were there who used to regulate the quality, distribution, and prices of goods that were produced. And the main commodities, the main articles that were traded that time was silk. You all know muslin. Muslin is fine, soft cotton cloth. Perfumes, trade of perfumes was also there, and ivory. Important trading centers were Taxila, modern Pakistan, this stay in Pakistan, Champa, this is also not in India, this is in Vietnam, and Barukacha, this is the modern Bharuch in Gujarat nowadays. Fine, this was the trade, how trade took place during New Kingdoms. About 2500 years ago. Now, coming to the social life and development of cities. At that time, development took place. Most of the towns were the capitals of Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. Others were the centers of trade or places of worship. That time, worship was practiced. The farmers were mostly lived in villages, whereas the craftsmen and traders used to live in the cities. And at this time, a Varna system continued. What is Varna system? Varna system is division of society into four castes, that is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. These are the castes. Casteism was born during this period, and society was divided into four castes. First one and the most important caste was Brahman. The second was Kshatriya. Brahman included kings and priests only. Kshatriya consists of professionals like doctors, engineers, teachers, lawyers, etc. Vaishya includes traders and craftspersons, and Shudra includes the fourth class. Like we can say, at the time this was the concept of the society, otherwise this time this does not exist. Shudra consists of like sweepers, cleaners, etc. And caste rigidity increased during this period. Means profession was given according to the cost only, and these things have become hereditary. Like if father is king, so obviously his son will be king. Similarly, if father is doctor, his son will be given the profession as in the Kshatriya class. In the Vaishya class, if father is any trader or any other crafts person, his son will be given the same. And this was a scenario of the society that time. And intermarriage was encouraged, emphasized. Like Brahmins could have the right to marry with the Brahmins only, Kshatriyas with Kshatriyas only. This was all what they used to do that time. This was the caste system that also developed in the cities in this period. Fine. So far revenue is concerned, as I already told you, the kings used to require a lot of expenditure to maintain huge armies, and they used to have mighty fortresses. Like they used to have strong walls around the forts in order to defend the armies and the king. And also during this period, they were always struggling among the the Mahajanpadas to annex more and more territories, to grab more and more power. That is why the forts used to be there. And these kings used to administer their kingdoms, and the kings appointed tax collectors so that they can collect taxes on regular basis. There were number of people who used to pay taxes. There were craftsmen, and these traders, farmers, they had to pay tax, as farmers used to pay one-sixth of their total produce, and that tax was known as bhaga or share. Similarly, craftsmen used to pay tax in cash or by supplying craft items. Similarly, these herders or these hunters, they used to pay with the different items to the kings, or they used to pay for free labor, like for 1 month, one free day labor they used to do for the king. In this way they used to pay tax to the king. Since the king was the owner of the forest, so the hunter gatherers had to pay the taxes, is it or not? Traders used to pay tax on their trade commodities. The revenue collect was spent on paying salaries, mostly to the armies and to the people that used to work in administration. The revenue was also spent on construction of roads and canals. Fine. From the 6th century BC onwards, India's history was marked by struggles among the Mahajanpadas, because they wanted to grab more and more power. Eventually, Magadha became the most powerful monarchy, and its capital was Rajagriha, modern Rajgir, and this. Was for 7 years, I mean capital, this capital was for 7 years long, for 7 years. But it was transferred to Patliputra. It was shifted to Patliputra, that is today's Patna, during the period of Ajashutra. Actually, Bimbisara was the most powerful king of this Magadha, Mahajanpada, and later on his son, as it was the hereditary form of government. Kingship. So Bimbisara, after Bimbisara, Ajatsutra came to the throne. So during the period of Ajatsutra, this capital was shifted to Patliputra, that is today's Patna. Fine. Um, Magda was the most prominent this Mahajanapada, and ruled over so many Mahajanapadas. Fine. In this way, we have finished this chapter. If you have any doubt regarding this chapter, that is early forms of kingdom, kindly text me and go through the chapter and its maps thoroughly, and to get more and more information about this. Still, if you do have any kind of doubt, kindly clarify your doubts by texting me. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead. Goodbye. Allah Hafiz. Don't forget to go through practice time, I mean question answer and comprehension part of the chapter. We have page number 53 of SST textbook. Question number 1A, B, and C part you have to do by your own, as I have not left any single point over here, so you have to complete this by your own. And kindly text me if you have incompleted, you have anything incomplete till now. Kindly text me about that. Hope you enjoyed the video lesson. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Fi amanillah.